Good evening and welcome to the Vinyl Scratch Radio Show with your host DJ Lauphing Bronie. Tonight I'm going to be interviewing Gage, or Sapphire Beams as he's known, from the Knights of Equestria group. Hey there Gage, how are you?
What's up, Lauphing Bronie? It's good to be here.
It's good to be here interviewing you too. Alright, so we're just going to start it off. Your real first name is Gage, right?
Correct.
Alright, how old are you?
I am 17.
Where exactly are you from? Like state or area?
Northwest Arkansas.
Awesome. How long have you been a Brony?
Since February.
This past February?
Yes, this past February.
Wow, you're a newer Brony than me. That's awesome. What got you into being a Brony?
Well, the story goes back to October. So I go to school, and my friend Michael tells me that he got so bored that he decided to watch all of season 1 in a one-night stand. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you say My Little Pony? And my mind is spinning with, like, WTFs and holy shit moments, and I'm like, ugh.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, so and then for the next few weeks, he's showing me all these pony videos, and he's telling me how awesome Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie are, and I'm not listening at all because I had no interest in My Little Pony. But I did find it quite humorous that there was a character in the show named Derpy Hooves.
Right.
So you fast forward a few months, and then I also find out my best friend Austin, who I've known since 7th grade, also watches the show, and I'm like, oh dear Lord, what does this world come to? So, okay, so and then one day they asked me if I wanted to come over to spend a night at Michael's house, and if I remember correctly, it was the Friday after Valentine's Day, and I agreed to it. And then right after I agreed to it, they're like, you're going to watch the first episode of My Little Pony, whether you like it or not. And I'm like, okay. So you fast forward about 12 hours, and then around 11 midnight, we watched the first episode of season 1, Elements of Harmony Part 1. And I'm like, okay, this is good, whatever. And then at the end of Part 1, I was like, okay, let's watch Part 2 just for good measure. So we watched Part 2, and I wasn't hooked onto it, but I did enjoy it. Then they also suggested to me that I watch the Discord episode, so I watched that. And then about around 2:30 or 3, I was getting tired, so I fell asleep. So, and then I really did not think of My Little Pony for a while until a couple days later, whenever I got on my iPod, went onto the YouTube app, and watched a couple episodes. The first one being Luna Eclipsed, if I remember right. So, and then it's just gone from there. Like, my I guess you could say love for the show has gone up tremendously since I first watched it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So, who is your favorite character, main and background?
Out of the main 6, my favorite is Twilight. Out of the background characters, it is a dead tie between Derpy and Vinyl. But overall, my favorite pony is Luna.
Awesome. So, what got you into music?
I've been listening to music all my life. Really, the one song that got me hooked onto music, it was back in 2005. It was American Idiot by Green Day. That was really the first track I would listen to on a non-stop basis. And my love for music has just been building up since then. And just recently, I got back into playing guitar. So yeah, that's been all fine and dandy. So I never really thought about becoming a musician. I thought I'd just play guitar just to have fun with it. Then the whole pony thing came along, and I'm like, okay, so this is just a show. I mean, like, okay, it's just a show. So, and then my friend Austin introduces me to A Vast Fluttershy's Ass, and I go and listen to that, and I liked it a whole lot, so I downloaded it, and I still have it on my iPod to this day. Then my friend Michael showed me the song called Spectrum by Acoustic Brony, and I loved the electric guitar parts in that. by Acoustic Brony, so it's still one of my favorite tracks to listen to. And I really didn't know how big the music was in the fandom until I listened to Beyond Her Tomb by Tombstone, Glaze, and Mike the Mike. I watched a PMV for that, and I was instantly hooked. I was instantly hooked. And then, of course, so I downloaded a bunch of other songs like Party of Pinky, Rainbow Factory, Nightmare Nights, all the other fun songs from the community.
So.
Then, and then the idea started to come in my mind. Well, I like to play music, and there's a fandom out there there's a fandom that has tons of great music. Why not make my own music? But I would just go ahead and get rid of the thought just because like there's no way I'd become as good or as big as Tombstone or Glaze. But then one night I was scrolling through the Brony Musician Dictionary. Yes, they have one of those.
Yep.
And I was looking through like all the comments posted up for like if you have an artist to suggest to add to the dictionary, then you would go there. And there was one artist named Electric Explosion. I've never heard of this guy before, but it said he had a song called The Downfall of Harmony, and I knew instantly it would be about the Discord episode. So I went and listened to it. Instantly, I was hooked. I loved the piano work behind it.
Right.
The piano work was good. The vocals were fantastic. Everything about it was just really good. So then I found out he's not that well known in the community, but he's a popular artist. All he uses to make his music is GarageBand, a Turtle Beach headset. Well, now it's a Snowball microphone, and his keyboard. That's all he does that's all he uses to make music. So it was right then and there I decided I would go ahead and start making music. So then I started coming up with ideas for tracks and all that I could possibly do. Then you fast forward about 2 months later, I download a demo of Mixcraft 5, and I'm just playing around with it, and I had my first track done within about a few hours or so. I didn't take back then. I really didn't care about quantity. Mm-hmm. So that first song was called "Derby Doesn't Know." It's on my channel if you want to go listen to it. It's not that great, but for someone who just started out, it's not that bad. And then the demo lasted for a month, so I decided to go ahead and make more and more music to go along with it, and then really my interest started to slowly decline because I was like, okay, this music's not turning out that good, so I'll just stop. I'll just probably stop. Then I run across a song on A Question Daily called "I'm Fluttershy" by Blaze. So I listened to it. I'm instantly hooked. It was a really well done song. So I sent a message to Blaze asking him if he could post up the stem files so I can remix it. He agrees. So I download the stem files. I spent about maybe 4 to 5 hours just messing around with the stem files, putting all these weird sound effects on it, and that turned out to be my "I'm Fluttershy" remix, which is also on my channel. And so far that turned out to be my most popular song I've ever done, remix or original.
Nice.
And the one thing that got me to continue going with music was Blaze commented on it and he said good effort, which I'll take that as a positive comment. And so it was really that revamped my interest in making music. So then after that, I went and got the stem files for Rainbow Factory, and I made that, which quite frankly I am not too pleased with the way it turned out. I'm making plans of remaking the Rainbow Factory remix, and I still got the stem files for it, so I can redo it whenever I want.
Nice.
So, and then once again after the Rainbow Factory remix, my interest started to go down a little bit, but then I met Devin, also known as FL or Def Doer, over the Everfree Radio chat room, and me and him got to talking and all that such. And by this time, I got FL Studio, and me and him just started talking about music and interests and favorite ponies and all that. Mm-hmm. So then we sent each other a Skype request, and then a couple days later, he introduces me to his friend Brian, also known as Shadow Dasher or Eighth Note, and then we got to talking a whole lot. We talked about interest and all that. Then a couple days later, they send me what they had down so far for a Luna tribute they were doing. So I added some stuff onto it, and then we sort of collabed on it. We released it, and that turned out to be Knights of Equestria's first track called "Ghost in the Moon." And then my interest in music just skyrocketed through the roof because of how well Ghost in the Moon turned out. It was right then and there. I was like, I'm gonna do something with this.
Right. Awesome. So, where do you get inspiration for your music?
Mainly the Bronie community, because I mean, like, there's a bunch of guys out there who basically started out from nothing to something. Like you look at Alex S. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's made stuff prior to joining the Bronie community, but once he joined the community, he got out there. Like, he was a really famous guy. And same thing with Mike the Mike. I mean, he first did a rap as sort of a parody of My Little Pony. Now he's one of the biggest artists in this community.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of guys in the community that went from nothing to something, and that's really sort of my goal with not only my solo music, but with the groups I'm in, is go from nothing to something.
Right, which is awesome. I mean, I started out as nothing, just as well. You know, when I first started out, let's see. The first thing I ever did was I first created a page on Facebook, and then my friend got me into music, and then I got into finding out how to do a radio show, and now look at me.
You're hosting a radio show.
Yes,
congratulations.
Which I'm not as well known as, you know, some of those other people. You know, there are
the guys on Celestial Radio or Saber Spark and Paleo.
Yeah, which I wish I was, you know, but oh well.
Yeah, you'll get there. You just need.
Yeah, well, Celestia Radio is just so much bigger. I mean, they've been here like since the beginning, I think.
Yeah, Celestia Radio has been here since the beginning. Everfree Radio has been here since Season 2 started, I believe.
And I've been here since, what, halfway between Season 2, so...
Yeah, I've been here since February, so...
Which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
So, what do you plan on doing next with music? Like, do you have any future plans with... Like, are you working on anything right now?
For my solo music, I'm taking a break from ranking solo music, so that way I can put my efforts more towards Knights of Equestria and my other group, Broniation, which there's a link to their channel and my channel. So for Knights of Equestria, of course, we got the Fluttershy track going, which we debuted the instrumental on your show last night.
Mm-hmm.
We're still waiting for Yuval to record the lyrics and send them to us. We got the Pegasus song going on, which so far that's going pretty well. Actually, before this interview, I was going through and editing a couple stuff in it. And then recently, I came up with the idea of, we won't work on this for maybe a couple weeks or so, but I came up with the idea of doing some dark dubstep stuff, music that involves Pink Amina and Insane Twilight.
Interesting.
And then for Broniation, that was just a group I'll go and tell a quick story behind that. So for any guys who know who Brony Sync is, he makes PMVs in the same style that Brony Dance Party makes his PMVs. Brony Dance Party was the one who taught Brony Sync how to make PMVs, and really the results have been fantastic since then. He's made one for One Last Letter by Aviators, the Living Tombstones remix of Discord, and he just released one for Glaze's remix of Cracks by the Living Tombstone, which that was a fantastic PMV.
Mm-hmm.
And so of course, he was doing a live stream, and he got bored, so he wanted to ask, he was asking anyone in the live stream, do any of you have Skype? So I said yes, and he was like, yay, GDJP has Skype. So I sent him a Skype request. Me and him just screw around for a while, and then he's stayed in my contacts since. Then, whenever I earned myself in the 5th Milo Remix War, and I finished up with my remix, I sent it to him. I sent it to Bronie Sync, and which the remix was of Second Chances by Aviators. So I sent it to him. I sent it to Bronie Sync, and then like right after he listened to it, he immediately got me in contact with Triple Speed, one of the other founding members of the group, and we instantly came up with the idea of doing something with this group. So me and him were just tossing out ideas there, and all that. And then since then, we've added another member. His name is Zero. From what I hear, he's an amazing vocalist. And then right now, Bronie Asian, we're going to be a little bit delayed on releasing our first couple of tracks because Triple Speed doesn't have the time to record, and Zero does not have a microphone at the moment, so it'll be maybe a couple months or so before we get our first tracks recorded. But the instrumentals are done, so I will talk with the other members when I get the chance, and if they agree to it, I'll release the instrumentals and see what everyone thinks about it.
Awesome. Now, is music truly your passion, or is there something else that interests you?
It's not truly my passion. I mean, there's a lot of things I love out there in life. And with music being one of them, I mean, yeah, with music being one of them, there's multiple other things that interest me. Let's see, computer graphics. I'm pretty sure one of the guys in here will enjoy this. So yeah, I've been really hooked onto taking computer graphics. Like I took a course in high school this past year, and I've learned so much about it that I've learned so much about it that I've wanted to sort of take that as my career. Like I've learned how to use Illustrator, Photoshop. I haven't learned how to use After Effects yet, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have Photoshop or Illustrator, but I know how to use them. So I hope that whenever I do go off to college, then I can be able to further my experience with all that fun stuff.
Awesome. So what do you plan on doing with those passions? Like, do you plan on going to college and majoring in something like that?
Yes, that is what I'm planning on doing.
Okay, what exactly are you thinking about majoring in?
Mainly graphic design, just sort of like, like customizing, like making designs for just what a graphic designer would usually make designs for, like company logos, T-shirts, soda cans, all that fun stuff. And my dream job, when it comes to graphic design, would be to come up with designs for MLP shirts. That would be an awesome job right there.
That's awesome. Let's see. Now, you didn't go to BronyCon, did you?
No, but I wish I was there.
Me too. What do you feel? How do you feel about R34? Just some random questions about MLP.
I'm sorry, but I don't do that kind of stuff.
All right.
Makes me feel uncomfortable on the inside.
All right. What do you hope to actually get a job as someday?
Like I said, just get a job at designing stuff. Just get a job at designing, like what I said, T-shirts, soda cans, all that such. But in terms of hoping to get a job for, it would be to create designs for some MLP products like T-shirts, iPod covers, posters.
Okay.
Who knows? Even a BronyCon logo.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, what are your future hopes for with your songs? Like, are you hoping to make one of every song that is remixed, or are you going to, are you working on a few that are original?
I won't stop doing remixes. I mean, it's just fun to just take a song and just make it in your own style, which I've proved that with the I'm Fluttershy remix and my remix for the MLR War. Just in case if any of you don't know what MLR stands for, it's Milo Remix. Um, but original stuff, I would like to go with, like, halfway between Electric Explosion stuff, which his stuff is very simple. It's just mainly just some piano, synth, orchestra, vocals. I like to go between his stuff and then between some of the electronic stuff in the community, like Glaze, Alex S, Omnipony, all those guys. But I would also like to start doing some rock stuff, with taking inspiration from guys like Acoustic Brony, Mando Pony, Pinky Guy, Prince Whatever.
Awesome. Do you have anything to say about your music, what you do, stuff like that?
Mainly what I do with my music is, for the majority of the music that I come up with, I just sit my butt down on my couch and try to come up with and just think of ideas for a song. So I get like a VST set up. I play around with the keyboard instrument, and I'm like, wait. So I play one part over again. I'm like, that sounds good. So I go and like record that part, or I don't record it. I just go into a piano roll, and then I sort of create around the idea, add some pads, add some beats. Then I try to think, okay, so how can I turn this into a pony song? So I of course continue the song for a little bit. Then I get to like a rise up, but then I get to like a rise, and then like right when the rise stops, I play an audio clip from the show, either from a show or from a fan-made episode. If you listen to Technopie, then the clip I got from that was from the Gilda episode. But if you listen to Twilight Sparkle Has Something to Say, that clip I got from a Diegike YouTube poop called Friendship is Magnets.
Awesome.
So then after that, I just continue adding on to the song to make it sound good, and then really after that, it's just a matter of how would everything fit. And then after that, when I listen through the song a few times, if I hear anything wrong, then I go back and fix it. But once everything is right, it's basically done, and I'm done with making music.
Awesome. So, what gives you, like, who is your inspiration for music-wise? Like, do you look up to anybody?
Like I said, it's mainly the Brony community that inspires me to make music, because, like I said, nobody's to somebody's. Like these guys were able to go from nothing to making no music at all to making great music. So, but in terms of music-wise, really, in terms of the fandom, like any artists in the community, mainly guys like Electric Explosion, Glaze, Tombstone. I got a bunch of artists on my iPod, but I cannot name all of them right now because there is so many.
Do you have a favorite Brony musician?
It is hard to choose a favorite because there are so many great musicians out there. Like, I cannot choose one favorite. But if I had to choose one, it would be the guy who got me hooked on the Brony music, and that would be Glaze.
Awesome. Now, are you hoping to collab with anybody in future time? Like,
there are so many people I want to collab with.
Like who?
If I become popular enough, I would like to collab with Electric Explosion on something, but he always gets messages from random bronies who wants to collab with him, so I don't think that's going to be possible. But I would like to collab with other guys like Aviators, Glaze, just at least a couple of the big names out there. It would be nice to collab with.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Alright, so now I'm going to open the floor to all those still listening.
Okay.
Supposedly I still have a live audience. I don't know if they're listening in, because they actually haven't been very talkative today.
Why are you not talkative?
I know. Last time, during the interview, they were talking and commenting on everything that he was saying, so...
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So, now I'm going to open up the questions to the floor. Oh.
Send me any questions, Tony.
What if you could be any type of tree? What would it be and why?
Whatever tree is the tallest tree in the world.
Redwood, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, and then what is your favorite kind of cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Why?
It tastes good.
Anything else? Any other
Like anything?
Any other reasons or anything?
Nope, that's just it. It tastes good.
All right. Now comes the questions.
Send me questions.
Anybody in the live audience have some questions for him? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Oh.
Come on, Pony, send me a question. I'm waiting.
Oh, sorry. I'll be right back. If you guys have questions, ask it.
So how is every pony?
Sorry, I'm not that talkative, really, to be honest.
Sorry.
Hey, Horstein, I think you probably want to put your mic on mute.
Okay.
Just go ahead and tell you this. Lauphing Bronie, one of the guys did unmute their mic, so I don't think that'll affect anything in the
No, that's fine.
interview.
What type of style of graphic design do you use?
It's graphic design. What do you mean by style? Like dark, graphic? Like, what are you talking about by that?
He says, It's a good question. And he can't think of it. Well,
All right.
since there aren't very many questions, I'm just gonna go ahead and close the interview. Since nobody.
What are some of the other questions? Or was that the only one that was?
Why did the nigga steal my bike? Not the best question, but whatever. Well, if you have one, if you guys are listening and you have a question, please ask it now. Go ahead and flood the chat with questions. I don't care. What do you think about people who argue about Skrillex being the best?
Okay, here's what I think about Skrillex. I say that some people don't consider him a musician because all he does is just sits down with a Mac and he makes music. And that's all he does. He just scrolls around and makes music, kind of like I do. But I've watched a video of Skrillex making a song in FL Studio, and quite frankly, I do consider him a musician because he doesn't use like any of the stuff that Ableton or FL Studio has. He actually has other musicians record stuff like guitars and pianos and all that. Then he takes what the recordings, goes into whatever studio, goes into whatever music working station that he uses, and edits them to make him sound all electronic and all that. He comes up with his own style of music. So yes, I consider Skrillex a musician. So,
right.
And
what is your favorite type of music?
Also, let me go ahead and add. It was MLP that got me hooked on the Skrillex after seeing a parody of Kill Everybody called "I Want to Kill Every Pony in the World."
Okay. What is your favorite type of music?
Type of music. I like to listen to more of the intense stuff like heavy metal, death metal, hard rock. But I also love listening to dubstep or electronic music. But also I listen to some soft stuff. Like well, I'm trying to think of soft stuff. Like some songs from the Community or anyway.
Awesome. Is there any type of music you don't like?
It's more the modern pop music. I mean, yes, I do listen to pop music every now and then, but quite frankly, I think that music is highly overrated. Same thing with country. Country is also highly overrated. They're taking the popularity away from other musicians and groups that deserve it.
Okay. Well, do you like Renard? Question.
Do I like Renard?
Renard Queenston.
Yes, Yeah, yes, I know who Renard Queenston is.
I don't.
I've heard of him, but I don't listen to his music that often. I mean, I have one song from him on my iPod, and that's about it. Um, but I do have Tombstone's remix of a Renard song. If you know of Atomizer.
I think I've heard of that, yes.
All right. Any other questions? And
what are your opinions on Deadmau5's music and style?
Deadmau5 is like Skrillex, all right, because like I am a Deadmau5 fan. Really, I think it was Deadmau5 who got me interested in dubstep music. I own two of his albums, so quite frankly, I think Deadmau5's music, I would say it's kind of maybe repetitive just a little bit, but not too much. Like he can go from soft and nice little piano in one part of the song to going full on dubstep in another part of the song. I mean, one thing I've understand about dubstep music is it takes a lot of imagination and creativity to come up with those unique sounds that they do have, like Deadmau5 and Skrillex.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and let you go for the night. So thank you so much, Gage, for coming and doing this interview. Well, actually, one last thing. Do you have any words of wisdom for any listeners?
Okay, listen up, every pony. Okay, so I just want to go and say this. You have to remember, I was no one at the start. Whenever I started watching LMP, I was a nobody. I was a nobody. I was just someone who started watching the show just because I liked it, and then I look into the fandom, and it gave me inspiration to make my own music. So if any of you plan on making music, just make music and just make music the way you like it. And if you're pleased with the results, then continue doing it. If you don't like the results, well, you might want to ask some of the other musicians for some help, like I have.
Yeah, which is totally fine to ask for help. It's never a bad thing to ask and get help.
If there's one thing I love about this community, it is that any pony is willing to lend a helping hoof.
Amen. All right, well, thank you so much, Gage, for being here. Thank you so much for doing this interview. It's been a pleasure talking to you and getting to know you.
Oh, my pleasure.
So, thank you guys so much. Be sure to tune in every week to listen to Gage's music. If
I may, Lauphing Bronie, if you want to listen to any of my solo music, my channel name is GDJPX115. If you want to listen to any music from Knights of Equestria, they should be easy to find. Just type in Knights of Equestria channel, and you'll be able to find them. Or you can go to my channel. I have a link to them. And also go listen to my other group, Broniation. We'll be posting some music soon. So links in my channel. So.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again so much, and have a great night.
You are welcome. You too, Websy.